Formnext 2025 is over and it was amazing. I walked over 35 kilometers hunting for the very best 3D printers, and I reckon I found 8 that are going to be game changing in 2026. Starting with this one, and it got me wondering if we're going to see miniaturization as a theme for 2026. This is the Formnext Mini, a printer that's aimed as a chairside dental printer, but could have seriously useful implications for all sorts of resin printing. Let me know what you think down in the comments below.
So first, it's really tiny, like a head of a Coke bottle, and it's only around 5 kilos. So let's go inside. So why all in one? You can print here and curing here. There's a little mystery box here, so curing, right? So curing system inside, built inside.
And this gets right to the heart of what I'm trying to say. If you can have a specialist printer for printing dental stuff, why not have a specialist printer for miniatures? So you can have a little curing box underneath where you can cure all your little basing bits or little add-ons, print them quickly, 5-10 minutes, and away you go. It's a good idea.
So let me just take this off. And also, a user-friendly design. There's a quick release build plate, so you don't need to bring extra equipment.
Quick release plates seem to be common in the dental sector and other commercial spaces, but they're not common in the consumer space yet. So I really hope we see this trickle down in 2026.
And here, so because the case is really different, like the cross, splint, or night guard, so the machine comes with 2 specialized vats. First is ACF fast vat. It can let you print a crown in just 10 minutes. And the second one is HDF, polish-free, high accuracy vat, gives you you can print splint and night guards. And also this cute pair with a mini washer. You got the whole workflow complete.
But whatever you've got in store for 2026, PCBWay has you covered. They offer high quality components, competitive pricing, and fast turnaround. In addition to all that, they also offer 3D printing services. So if you've been inspired by all the stuff you've seen at Formnext 2025, but you don't have the capability to print it at home, then PCBWay could be the answer. PCBWay have not only helped me bring my dreams to life in metal, but also in lots of different plastics too. Add CNC and laser cutting into the mix and you've got a one-stop shop for any idea that can possibly come across your mind. Head to PCBWay.com to make your dreams a reality, including up to 50% off in their Christmas sales, 10% off 3D printing materials, 20% off the starting price, and free upgrades including purple, matte, black and pink solders. PCBWay have been active supporters of this community for a long time now, and we're really grateful to have them as a channel sponsor. So if that's something you're interested in, go and click. And if not, then I doubt you're even watching anyway. So why am I still talking? Back to the video. Now I want to talk about the Anycubic Cobra X. And the fact that in 2026, I think one of the big trends we're going to see is tried, tested, solid designs being improved in sensible ways. With the Cobra X, we see a form factor almost identical to the Bamboo A1 Mini. And then all around body improvements to improve the stability and usability of the machine. The Anycubic Cobra 3 V2 was already very good, and this looks like it'll make it even better. If Anycubic come through with a solid price point, and I see no reason why they won't, then they could be onto a real winner here, particularly if they can offer a genuine alternative to more locked-in ecosystems, like you see with Bamboo Lab. But the biggest improvement has to be the Ace Gen 2, a new print head and, forgive me because I'm still learning my way with FDM, Anycubic's new print head that seems to combine an AMS with less print waste, which they seem to achieve by just cutting the filament closer to the nozzle. I have it on good authority that Anycubic plan to test this and then roll it out across their entire range over the next generation of printers. If they can pull it off and it works as intended, this could be exactly what we're hunting for. More of the same, but better. Tool changes were absolutely everywhere at Formnext, but one thing that was really dominant was shoes. And with shoes came specialist printers just for printing them. I want to introduce Lugo Labs, a company that I'd never heard of, but are doing great things in this space.
Yes, we make a tool changer 3D printer, as you can see. And the specialty of this printer is we can print multi-material but in TPU.
And listen, if you're a bit underwhelmed at this point, I do get it, but bear with me. Because while we've had multi-material printing in the consumer space for a little while now, we're now starting to see printers that can really cope with whatever you throw at them. So in this case, you can print your very soft uppers of your shoes with slightly more supportive soles, along with rigid support materials and a couple of other bits and pieces thrown into the mix, all on one printer, all at the same time, available at what is essentially hobby money right now. We're really living in the future, and I am here for it.
So now it's docking 2.85.
So just while we've got the tool changer open, what are the filaments loaded in here? So you've got the 2.25, what's that, 78? And then
1.75.
And then 1.7, and you've got 1.75, and then what's in here?
It's also 1.75, and it's a 82 HO. Yeah, it's a PLA for support. Yeah,
cool. So you've got PLA for supports, and then various shore factors here, and various diameters.
Yes. Yes.
Now it looks like, at least on the face of it to a layman like me, that this functions very similarly to Bondtech's index type system, in the fact that you have basically an induction type heater, a wireless print head, and then various dynamic gears inside which can move and flex according to the flexibility of the filament and also its diameter. What's cool though is the fact that you've got another competing system to that, so you've got more rival tech and more innovation in this space. This is the trend that I really hope continues into 2026. More innovation in the space and more ideas that we didn't even think possible 12 months ago coming into our little grubby bits as consumers. A big thanks to Hun for spending the time talking to me about the system, and obviously I've linked the printer down below, but I'll let him tell you about the printer, its costs and its specs and that sort of thing before we move on to the next one. Is this printer available to buy now?
From December.
From December. Can you give me some specs on the printer itself?
We have 3 different size models and also smaller machine. We have also, but this machine is the wide version, which is the largest. Okay. And its build dimension is 330 and 250, 370. We made this size because we focused on to make this printer for one pair of shoes.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, one pair of shoes.
Okay. What's the printer called?
The name of this printer is a Lugoware Flex 4.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Flex 4, because we have a 4 tool head, and we print Flex, so Flex 4. It makes sense.
Yeah, it does make sense.
It makes sense.
How much?
Wide size is the price of 4,100 euro, and medium size is 3,200 euro.
Basics, really cool price. Now, tool changers were everywhere at Formnext, and there's no doubt they're going to be a game-changing tech in 2026. Now, I know Snapmaker got there first with their massive Kickstarter and their multi-tool changer printer, which seems to be absolutely incredible. I certainly saw it working, and it was. But there's no doubt that Prusa have now taken this to the next level with their collaboration with Bondtech. You've got induction heating, multi-material, multi-diameter printing, similar to we saw in the Luger Labs, but now available at a mass market, available to consumers. Well, once it's back in stock, it will be anyway. It's a really cool system, and it looks like we're right on the cusp of delivering zero waste printing, which is something people have been really clamouring for. Listen, I'm going to let Tommy from Prusa explain it. He does it better than me.
Hi, so I'm Tommy, I'm from Prusa Research, I'm the community manager here, and I'll give you a quick intro into the Core 1 printer with the Index unit. So here we have the Core 1, it's printing with the Index printer. So as you can see, we have 8 individual tool heads mounted here, and it's using auto swapping of the material. So as it goes there, it swaps the nozzle, and it uses induction to heat it up, and it goes straight to printing. It has nearly no waste, it's just using a small tower for the priming of the nozzle. We plan to have that circumvented in the final release of it. So you can even print completely waste-free if you turn it off. Worst case, you'll have a little bit of a seam going with the print. So the unit itself, it went available just yesterday, and sadly it's already sold out. The price for it is 499 euros for the upgrade kit going from the Core 1, and that's for two tool heads and 4 tool heads. And if you go for the 8 tool head version, it's 699 euros.
Another game-changing innovation brought by Prusa was the introduction of a print head which can print industrial-grade silicon. It costs less than £1,000, and can plug and play onto any original Prusa XL. This potentially brings silicon printing to the masses, and that's exciting. Think of the implications for the disabled community in being able to print prosthetics at home, or maybe the cosplay community and be able to 3D print their own masks. I don't know, this just seems really exciting, and it's yet another material innovation that's felt like a long way away, and all of a sudden it's right here. I think one of the best things about Formnext 25 was just the mad ideas and being able to see them for the first time in the flesh. The epitome of a mad idea is the Anycubic Photon P1. This, in all its marketing and all the conversations I've seen around its marketing, had people in an absolute loop about the complete pointlessness of running two tiny little vats. What a waste of space that was, how unuseful it was, what's the use case around this? And I think people are missing the point. After thinking about it for a little while, it looks like the Anycubic P1 is finally a rival to the Haygear's reflex system, in that you've got a well-made, well-thought-through industrial-grade printer manufactured by a much bigger company who can potentially bring it to market for a lower price. And I'm a massive Haygear's fan. I make no bones about that. But right in my very first video I said that I really hope that other manufacturers would start looking at Haygear's technology and implementing it in their own designs, and this is what we're seeing here. And I really hope the Anycubic P1 is the culmination of people studying companies like Haygear who are pushing the boundaries of what customers expect from 3D printers and then bringing it down a couple of price notches and delivering it to the mass market. Ignore the 2 VAT thing. I'll have some thoughts on that in the full review I've got coming. If you take this as a single VAT printer, this could really lift the technical ability of resin printing. I can't wait to get my hands on one of these, and hopefully I will do before the end of the year. Watch this space and subscribe if you're not already. Now to the more mundane.
This one, yeah, is our latest Jupiter 2.
And it might seem a bit mad to get excited, but what you're looking at right there is the new build plates that may or may not be coming on the next range of Jupiter and possibly Mars printers. And that build plate has a catch on the top so you can remove it one-handed, and a drip catcher all the way around so it doesn't make any mess. And that is the sort of game-changing tech I am really here for. Real quality of life improvements on mainstream printers. It's the same story with another Elegoo printer, the Centauri Carbon 2. They took a great printer that absolutely crushed sales last year and just made it a little bit better everywhere. Now you have ventilation control, you've got better cameras, better monitoring, better ecosystem, multicolour printing, as well as a whole new suite of auto sensing and bits and bits like that. Mass market printers made better through iterative improvements. I don't know if it's game changing, but I think it will change a lot of people's printing experiences in 2026. The last game-changing printer I want to talk about is something I've already featured on a full-length video on this channel before, so go and check that out if you're able to. It's the Athena 2. Now the folks at Concept 3D are doing some really exciting things that are going to make people's lives better. With a focus on sustainable print design, with fully upgradable modular printers with long lifespans, through to inbuilt air quality monitoring and organic carbon filtration in the back to really get a hold on those nasty chemicals. But the real game changer in my mind about the Athena is something we're seeing across the industry, and that is software. Now Concepts 3D specifically are working with the Open Resin Alliance to develop a new eye for the Athena 2 machine, and potentially a new slicer down the line too. But there's already lots of entrants to the software market which is improving the way we 3D print. Everything from the slicers themselves to the auto supporting systems to even fully automation of models and error checking, and all just aimed at reducing the amount of prior knowledge needed to access 3D printing. I know one of the biggest barriers for me was always learning a new piece of software or learning a new app, and so pieces of software which genuinely improve the user experience, like we've seen in the FDM space with Bamboo, can only be a good thing. And I'm hoping 2026 will be the game-changing year that finally delivers. Now, if you've been watching the video for this long, thank you. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. But what that really tells me about you is that you're a curious mind, and I'm hoping that means you're open-minded too, because the next section, which is thrown in as a little bit of an Easter egg, game-changing technology, is controversial. There's no doubt this technology will completely revolutionize the way everybody lives their lives, but what we're talking about next is AI. But there's no doubt that one of the more interesting conversations I had at Formnext was with Simon, who's the CEO of Tripo AI. Now, the mere mention of the word AI will have got some of your backs up immediately, and I get it. I do understand. I am not really promoting AI here. I'm just trying to look at technologies that are going to have a big impact on 3D printing in the next year, and there's no doubt AI will have a big impact. So, whatever your opinions are at the end of this next 1 or 2 minutes with Simon, I'd love to hear them down in the comments below. Good or bad, I'm genuinely interested in what you think about this sort of stuff. So without further ado, here's a short excerpt of the conversation I had with Simon. Let me know what you think, but nicely. Thanks.
Hello everyone, my name is Simon. I'm the founder of Tripo. Question: When we come here for Formnext Frankfurt, we introduce our AI to a lot of people, and when people hear about AI, they say no, they're scared about that. There are a lot of concerns, and what you said is, I think, the major concern people have, and that is really important because 3D generation, or we call it 3D foundational model, is totally different from image generation or text generation or video generation. Because for 3D, what we do is not we create a new stuff. Instead, it's if you give me an image, right? If you give the AI image that is you designed, you create, right? You made, and then the AI just make it 3D. That's all. That's all. It's not a creative job. It's more about skills. When you already have the blueprint, or when you already have the image you want, when you already have for example, the original character you want to make, the IP you want to make, the AI, all it can do is just make it 3D. I think more importantly is that when this AI goes more mature, everyone could be designers. Everyone could express their ideas and make their designs and creativity come true in the physical life. And that is really important for the future, we call it a personalized world, that everyone could have personalized commercial goods instead of standard SKUs. And that is the world we're looking forward to, and great AI. And 3D data is actually really limited in the world, because you never send a 3D YouTube or 3D Instagram or 3D Twitter, right? So you cannot get a lot of 3D data in the world. That's why we're actually making a lot of data by humans, right? Like we're hiring skilled modelers to making new data, so you don't need to worry about using existing artist data. That is limited. That is really a small portion.
What's the percentage behind that? So you're talking about sourcing artist data, and I assume so what percentage of sort of existing data is already out there is used compared to the new stuff that's been generated?
So actually, because artists, especially 3D artists, really care about their arts and their works, and we respect that. So we won't source these data unless they are willing to contribute their artworks to the AI training data. So that's that's a really little portion of the whole training data.
So my dream for 3D printing has always been Star Trek replicator, press a button, have a thing.
Yes.
That's always been where I've been wanting to get that. And I'm not talking about when Star Trek replicator happened, but when do you think AI that you've got in your head will maybe physical reality that people can use?
Yes, that's a very, very good question. If you study this industry really closely, as we are in Formnext this year, we'll notice that the home use 3D printers like Bamboo Labs, like Anycubic Reality, Alicu, etc., Snapmaker, they are going viral this year, and we'll believe it's gonna become more viral next year. The major thing is that the target customer of 3D printer before was few million people in the world, because you have to be a geek and knows how to make 3D models, to use a 3D printer like you, right? But for like people like newbies like me, don't know how to make a 3D model using DCG tools, then you have to learn like DCG tools for at least for more than half year. Then you can buy a 3D printer and print your stuff. That is the problem. And when AI 3D tools goes viral, we already got more than 5 million users around the globe right now. We'll see that everyone could make their own designs. I think that's the main element of why Bamboo and others go viral this year, and I believe it goes even more viral next year. And I think in 3 to 5 years, we'll all have a 3D printer in our home, just like a 2D printer we have in our home. And
I really hope so.
I really believe so. And you always want something, right? You not only want a letter or a journal, you always want something that maybe your table is not stable enough. You want to make a longer leg, right? You want a new toy. You want a new.
From your kettle break.
Yeah, exactly.
From your kettle break.
Yeah, or a movie goes viral, and that is only personalized for you, and that is really important.
So what's the time scale?
I think it's just 3 to 5 years, at most. I would say it's not that optimistic. Thank you.
Check it out.
So if you're still here and you haven't annihilated me in the comments, thank you very much. Thank you also to the main channel sponsors, PCBWay. PCBWay have been long-term sponsors of this channel and many other creators in this space, and really do deserve a bit of kudos for doing that. But the biggest thanks, as always, go to the people who support me over on Patreon or chat to me every day on Discord. You are properly the lifeblood of this channel, and I am so grateful to be your friend and your collaborator and your just general hobby passenger as we travel through this space together. You know who you are. So this has been RisingApe Minis. I've been James, and I'll see you next time.